What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everything Octagon. UFC 300 just finished up, and what a show it was. I ain't got much time this week. I've been cutting trees all morning, and basically I'm all dirty and nasty, but I got to find time to come down and sit down and go over these predictions and some of my videos and the results from UFC 300. Getting a lot of grief because I have some pretty bold predictions, and I'm not always right. So some of the people that were against me would love to see a video of me going over these fights. So let's start right out. Figueiredo versus Garbrandt. The kickoff the night was a really good fight, actually. Garbrandt didn't get the knockout like I was cheering, but it pretty much went the way I expected. Figueiredo was the more dominant grappler. I predicted that he win a decision. He didn't win a decision. He won a submission. So he ends up getting Cody Garbrandt in a triangle choke and choking him out. So, yeah, move on to Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. This was an awesome fight, you guys. I mean, Jim Miller pretty much got pieced up the entire fight. You really felt bad for the guy. He had a cut here, and but he was just going the whole time, trying to get his hands on Bobby. He got a couple shots in and had Bobby, on skates a few times, but pretty much Bobby won every round, piecing him up, keeping his distance, and, that jab, that 1-2, hands down, kind of, you don't know where the strikes are coming from, and, yeah, Bobby Green is a little more hated in my book. Everyone wanted Jim Miller to win UFC 300, and Bobby Green wouldn't let it happen. So fuck Bobby Green. Jim Miller did awesome. They put on a good show, both of them did, but, I just really wanted Jim Miller to win, but Bobby Green's all right. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez was a pretty good little battle back and forth. I believe it was a split decision. Jessica Andrade got the decision. I think some people are going to think Marina Rodriguez won. I didn't care either way. It was a pretty close fight, and I felt like it could have gone to either woman. So Jessica Andrade by decision. Then you go on to Jalin Turner versus Renato Moicano. Oh my God, what a fucking stupid, tall, dumb idiot, Jalin Turner, man. He could have had a walk-off. He tried to get a walk-off knockout. He dropped Renato Moicano and just walked away, and Herb Dean let him right back up, and they continued the action, and he could have had a KO, but the dumb fuck just tries to walk off, and it's UFC 300, man. They're not gonna... Herb Dean ain't gonna let you get no walk-off knockout like that, especially when Renato Moicano is a brilliant jiu-jitsu guy, and he's on his back. His eyes are still open. Herb Dean wants you to go down and mess with that guard a little bit. But, yeah, so Renato Moicano almost gets knocked out, comes back, gets Turner to the ground, and put on that jiu-jitsu, and ends up submitting Jalin Turner. So, Renato Moicano by submission. Then you go on to... Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopes. Guys, this was a quick fight. Lopes come out and put it on Yusuff. I think he knocked him down twice. The second time, he finished him right off. Uppercuts close into the, right in the pocket and dropped this boy like it was nothing. First round finish, knockout by Diego Lopes. This boy's going to be somebody in this division, so watch out for that guy. Holm versus Kayla Harrison. This pretty much went the way I expected. Obviously, I was rooting for Holmes, but my prediction was on the fact that Kayla Harrison was going to come out and manhandle Holly Holmes. I mean, she did her judo, Olympics judo at 170. She fought in PFL at 155. Holly Holm is a bantamweight, 135. Kayla Harrison sucked down to 135, probably put on another 15 pounds before the fight, and just totally dominated Holly Holm. Ends up choking her out. I think it was round 2. And yeah, so Kayla Harrison by submission. Then you get into Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling. I don't know. I was sleeping during this fight, guys. I don't know what happened. No, I'm just kidding. Kattar had nothing. Kattar had nothing for Aljamain's grappling. Aljamain just kind of stuck to him like a leech for 3 rounds trying to get a submission. Thankfully, Kattar's grappling skills were good enough to not get submitted, but he pretty much rode Kattar's back like a backpack for 3 rounds, and one of the more boring fights on the card. It weren't that bad, but it's 300, so it seemed a little more boring. But yeah, Calvin Kattar loses a decision to Aljamain Sterling. Not happy about it. Moving on to Jiri Prochazka versus Aleksander Rakic. What a good fight this was. I believe Jiri got a bonus out of this. He was getting pieced up. His legs were getting slaughtered by Alexander Rakic. Yeah, almost like the Pereira fight. Once his legs started getting hammered and he was not able to stand on him, he just pushed forward and just, got closer so those leg kicks wouldn't affect him as much and just pushed the pressure. You could tell he was hurt. Jiri's one of these guys, you got to hurt him and piss him off for him to start fighting, and that's exactly what he did. He just... a little sloppy, but he brought it, and it was too much for Alexander Rakic. Jiri Prochazka by knockout. I think it was second round. Great fight. Awesome fight. Prochazka won a bonus. Good for him. Another a $300,000 bonus. So rock on, buddy. Then going into the main card, Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. Guys, this wasn't as bad of a raping that I thought it was going to be. I said in my video that, it was just ridiculous that these boys were fighting on the main card, and it still is. I get it. It's they wanted to pump up Bo Nickal, but I think it hurt him more than it did. He gained more haters than fans, and then he went out there, and first time ever, somebody brought him to the second round. Cody Brundage's wrestling was, just enough to hold him off for a little bit, but eventually Bo Nickal just takes his back and chokes Cody Brundage out. It wasn't much of a fight. The odds, were pretty true to what they were. So, yeah, Bo Nickal by second round submission over Cody Brundage. Now you got Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. Guys, what the fuck, man? Yeah, shocked. Arman Tsarukyan did a way better job than I thought he was going to do. Pretty impressive given that it was Oliveira, how good Oliveira is in the jiu-jitsu, that Tsarukyan did not get tapped out. Round two, he had him up against the cage on the ground and just, hammered him with some pretty, glancing elbows where you just get the elbow across the side of the face and cut Oliveira up pretty good. I will say in round one, Oliveira went for a Darce/guillotine and thought he was going to get Arman out of there, but Arman was not tapping out. One of them situations that prove where sometimes you get in these chokes and it's about what's right here, because he was in it and he was not going to give up. And then in the third round, at the very end, Oliveira synced in a Darce choke, and I'm telling you, man, I swear to God, he was out for a minute there. He kind of dropped and his whole body went limp for a second. Then he come back, and the ref didn't stop the fight. The bell rang, and they give the decision to Arman Tsarukyan. Yeah, shocked, guys. Honestly, I'm shocked. Good fighter, but I don't think much of Arman Tsarukyan. On his way out, he had actually attacked a fan that was flipping him off, and that's just the way it is in the UFC. These fans are there they pay their money. They're allowed to cheer. They're allowed to flip you off. They're allowed to do whatever they want, pretty much, unless you're Arman Tsarukyan. I mean, he literally went after this fan and tried to punch him, and he lost my respect in that way. It's just bullshit. So, yeah, good fighter. I probably won't be doubting him. I don't think he's going to be able to beat Islam, though. It's probably not going to happen, but he's like an Islam, but not as good. Islam's a little better than he is, but yeah. So, Arman Tsarukyan, I'm eating my words, bud. Eating my words on my video where I didn't think you had a chance against Oliveira, but you did. You got the decision. Good on you, man. Good job. Justin Geathje versus Max Holloway, guys. The BMF fight. This is one of the best fights I ever saw. Obviously, it's like my two best friends fighting. These guys are both my favorite fighters. I didn't even do a video because I didn't know who I, wanted to win or who I thought would win. It was just one of them fights, so I'm just going to watch it. So, awesome fight, though. It was 5 rounds of pretty much Max Holloway proving he's the better fighter. He broke Gaethje's nose. There was a couple eye pokes that I really didn't like, but that's fighting. And hats off to Geathje, how tough he is. He was not going to let them stop that fight over some eye pokes. So, really proud of him there. But final moments, though. It's gone 5 rounds. Max Holloway's obviously in the lead, and he calls Geathje to the center to just throw it down like gladiators, and that's what they did. Geathje met him in the middle. 12 seconds of these boys just swinging for the fences, and in the last fucking second, Holloway clips Geathje in the jaw, drops him down face first, mat to the canvas. 1 second left of the whole fight, and Geathje is out cold. I'm talking comatose, head first into the canvas. You've never seen Justin Geathje like that. So, holy shit, Max Holloway. He may be one of the greatest fighters ever, dude. I'm telling you, I love the kid. I love them both. I hope Gaethje's okay. I almost had tears in my eyes, guys. I couldn't even cheer until I knew that Gaethje was up and awake and moving around, because holy fuck, man. It was just brutal. Brutal. So, yeah. Yeah, anyway, then going into the bantamweight women's title fight, the Chinese girls, Weili Zhang versus Yan Xiaonon. What a good little fight. You know, it was hard to follow that Gaethje fight, so, you know, we were all pretty much drained. That fight drained everybody in the arena, everybody at home. But these girls put on a good little showing. I think that Weili Zhang won by decision, but there was a moment in the fight when she had a rear naked choke, and she choked Yan Xiaonon out. Yan Xiaonon was out. The bell rang, and Weili had to literally push her off of her because she was out cold sleeping. They even were trying to wake her up in the corner. It should have been stopped. It should have been a submission victory for Weili Zhang, but they ended up. She ended up getting back into it, dropped Weili a few times, but Weili's grappling just proved way too much for Yan Xiaonon, and Weili ends up getting the decision and retaining her belt. Good fight, though. Good fight, for sure. Now, the main event of the evening, the 205ers, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Guys, this was just the cherry on top for the night, man. This was fucking awesome. It was a one-round fight. They come out, couple leg kicks here, couple leg kicks there for Jamal Hill, a little bit back and forth, and somewhere along the way, Jamal Hill, what happened was Pereira was jabbing him in the body, coming down and just jabbing him in the body multiple times, and I think that's what he was doing, was up, you know, setting up the left hand for later, and that's exactly what happened. Jamal Hill threw a kick that kind of grazed Pereira right in the nuts, and he like rubbed his nuts, and Herb Dean said time, and he comes in to stop the fight and maybe give Pereira a few minutes to recover. Pereira just stops, goes like that, tells Herb Dean nope, and within a couple seconds later, he throws this nasty like hook, like shovel uppercut kind of hook. It was kind of like a little bit of a both. It looked like he's coming in for a hook, and he come up, like I call it a shovel hook, but it looked more like an uppercut. Put Jamal Hill on his ass. And Pereira comes over and pounds him out. Got a couple right on the jaw. Referee stops the fight, and Alex Pereira goes, you know, sitting there going like, see, told you so, because he said at the press conference he was going to make Jamal Hill remember the moment with his, when Jamal Hill had his little tiki doll with the blood all over it and stuff. Pereira did not like that. You could tell right off the jump, man, Jamal Hill was shook, man. When they went to go touch gloves, Jamal wanted to put his gloves up, and he did it a little too early before the referee stopped talking. Realized Pereira wasn't going to dab him up at that moment, and he didn't want to look stupid, so he kind of like puts his hand up and then just grabs his chin. It's pretty funny if you watch it back. It's a little bit of a nervous tension that Jamal Hill was dealing with right in the seconds before that fight. So just kind of funny. Just kind of another funny little thing. But go watch it back. You'll like that. But yeah, Alex Pereira retains his belt. He's going to have a scratch on him. He wants to fight at UFC 301 in Brazil. I don't know if they're going to allow that, but he's fresh. He's ready to go. He actually called and said he would like some fights at heavyweight, so that's real exciting. But yeah, that's pretty much the reactions and breakdowns for today. I wish I had more time to get right into them, but I'm not going to have much time this week, and this is my only opportunity to sit down and talk with you guys. So please subscribe, please like. There will be more videos in the future. This channel is really growing. It's I got 132 subscribers, which is, you know, more than I had when I started. So I really appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed, and you know, a lot of comments this last week. So I'm really liking that. And yeah, just thanks for engaging with me. Whether you agree with me or not, I really appreciate each and every one of you putting in your 2 cents. I enjoy hearing it. I enjoy commenting back. So yeah, thanks very much, and see you on the next one, guys. Please like, subscribe, and rock on.